All right. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you for coming to this session on simplifying Brightspace migration. I want to also welcome Laura Meoli-Ferrigon to Hunter as our instructional designer extraordinaire. And let me turn this over to her because this is her show. Thanks, Laura.
Thanks, Kenny. Hi, everyone. Hope you're doing well. I have a presentation for you today called Simplifying Brightspace Migration. It's a quick step-by-step course setup guide for faculty here at Hunter School of Education. And I'll be sharing this with you guys after. I will also be recording and sharing the recording. So today in this webinar, you'll discover key training resources to support your transition, learn how to translate common Blackboard functionalities into Brightspace. So we'll see what something was in Blackboard and what it is now, what the equivalent is. We'll explore essential faculty features, including the gradebook assignments, discussion, course availability, and gain confidence in leveraging Brightspace tools to enhance your teaching experience. And I put this Brightspace link in a couple places so that you always have easy access to it. And this PDF that I share will have lots of links throughout that you can click on for access to tutorials on that specific item. So first, I created a guide that is a printable resource for you if you want to have it in your office next to your computer. And it explains what's changing for professors, um, shows you some new features and gives you some tips for a smooth transition. So there are a couple things that will change and that you need to be aware of. And we'll go through that in the presentation, but I will also share the printable version for you. Just 2 quick pages that you can have available. So let's start with what's changing for professors, and we'll compare the two. So you probably are familiar with your weekly material, course material folder in Blackboard. That now in Brightspace is going to be content, modules, submodules. It will look different, but you'll be able to do pretty much all the same things you did in Blackboard, but it'll just be laid out differently. So when we go into the demo, I'll show you that there are some differences in how it looks. The terminology is slightly different. Folders are modules and submodules, as I mentioned. Assessments are now called quizzes and assignments, and there are hyperlinks in here with some tutorials. If you want to set up a quiz, it'll show you step by step, or set up an assignment. You'll be able to follow along with that. Users are now called class lists. So you would go to Tools and you'll find the class list there, and you can email your students from there. Course management is now called course admin, and the course copy is now located in this string here. Student preview, we have view as learner. I'm actually going to jump into Brightspace now to show you that. Here it is. Okay. So we have student preview here at the top where your name and your image is. You have view as learner. So that replaces student preview from Blackboard. If you click on it, it'll show you what is available to students. So if the course is active or available, if folders are not hidden, they'll be able to see everything here. So you can always check and make sure what items are available and not available this way. And importantly, to get out of student view, you click on that again, that little arrow, and you can exit out and go back to professor functionality. And just to backtrack a moment, I'll show you the class list. So under course admin, in Blackboard, we had that sidebar with all the course admin stuff at the bottom. Now it's here at the top. So course admin. And we're looking for class list. It's here under learner management, class list, and it'll show you all the students in your course. Obviously, this is the demo course. This has myself and a student, but you can email them from here if you wanted to. You can also send an announcement, but if you wanted to email them, say the course is not available yet, and you want to send them an email about course is going to be open, here's your textbook, this is where you would do that. And the full grade center is now grade setup wizard, and I'll just show you where that is while we're here. Also under course admin, grade setup wizard, grade. Not as easy to access as Blackboard, but it's still there. So you have manage grade, you have setup wizard, and this is where you can set it up at the beginning of the semester, or you can go into enter grades. You want to manually put them in. So it says up here, switch to standard view. There's standard view and spreadsheet view. Standard view, you cannot override grades, but if you go to spreadsheet view, it'll look just like Blackboard where you can come in and type that they got 5 out of 5 for this course, and you'll override the grade that was inputted. And so while we're on the topic of grades, when we had needs grading in Blackboard, now it's called quick eval. So under tool, quick eval is right here. I didn't save the grade, but you would hit save. If students have submitted something for an assignment, it'll show up here. It'll look very much like needs grading in Blackboard.
Another place to find Quick Eval is on the course homepage. On the right-hand side under your professor widget, any new assignment submissions will show up here. Let's go back to tools.
Class progress here under tools as well. So that'll show you for each student how much of the course they've completed. If they haven't accessed it at all, you'll know that. It'll all be here in this list. Okay, so we'll talk about some new features now. We're going to unlock innovative tools and capabilities in Brightspace that are designed to enhance student engagement and simplify course management. So first, the course homepage for that provides a space to adjust the custom widgets, the homepage banner, and anything else in the course. And again, all of these links have tutorials from V2L or from the Hunter IT that will show you how to do these things, but I'll show you as well. Okay. In Brightspace, there's this little home button at the top. That'll show you all your courses for any school you're at. If you're at multiple colleges, you might have different names here. I'm still public health, so I will have Hunter up there soon. But you find the course that you want, you can click on it, and the course homepage is where you're brought. So you have the announcements widget at the top. We have another widget here for the professor information. You can always configure it and add your information of your name, your scheduling link, any other information, social media links, anything you want for professor information. So that will replace what we had in Blackboard if you had a professor tab or some information about you. So this is our course homepage. It'll show you all of your modules and inside of them, the content for that module. So you can definitely set it up week by week. But know that any folder you add goes to the end. So if you had this course information folder, for example, I suggest always putting that at the top because it's only going to show you a couple of them and then it'll say view all. So it kind of condenses if you have more than a certain number of folders. So any really important information you can put at the top under course information. And you can also access those folders under content here at the top. The next item we have is intelligent agents. It's a really great feature. So we go to tools, intelligent agents, and you can create a new agent that will, for example, if a student hasn't participated in a course for a certain number of weeks, you can set up an agent that will email them after that criteria has been met, and you can set the custom message. So there's lots of criteria in here that you can use, and I've added in the PDF a link to all of the options that you have. So there's really a lot of great options in here. But what I would use it for is if they haven't participated or they're late with their assignment or assignment is coming up and you want to say, hey, everyone, reminder, you haven't submitted your assignment yet. You can do things like that. And there's a lot of conditions here. So sometimes the conditions might override each other. So definitely use the tutorial for recommended intelligent agents. Another thing to use is replace string. So replace strings allow you to dynamically adjust course content by inserting customized text that changes based on the learner information. Meaning, you see here at the top, it says, "Hello, Laura, welcome back to the course." Now, if you are in the course, it would say, "Hello, Kenny, hello, Dennis, hello, Rosa, Kimberly, Jenny." It'll customize to that because I put a replace string in there. So we would just go to this little three dots here, customize banner text, and hello, first name. You could put first name, last name if you want. And on this page, it says, what replace string can I use? You can always open this up and it'll open a new page that gives you a list of them. So you don't have to memorize them or anything. In the tutorial, I've also provided a link that you can see all of them. So there's lots of options for how you can customize your course. It's a nice way to let the students think that you're writing directly to them. Good option. The Course Design Accelerator is the next tool that I'll show you. It helps you simplify the setup of your course. So if you have not migrated a course over from Blackboard and you have to start from scratch, but you have like your syllabus with your week listed out, the Design Accelerator is really helpful. It makes it a lot faster. So go to Course Admin, Course Builder, and then, so I have some stuff in here already, but if it was empty, you would just go here on the right where it says create a module, and you would put module 1. Notes, I learned today, they do not show up as the description, but put the folder name. So module 1, course builder, test. You can put restrictions. So if you want module 1 to only be available after Friday, you can select the start date, or you want it to go away after a certain time. We create that here. You can upload. This is also a quick way if you have slides for each class and you don't want to have to go into each folder. You can come into here, click on this module, upload file, and you can add your slides there. You can set it as draft as well if you're not ready to share it. Say you did that a bunch of times and you put in all your modules, then you would just go into it. So I would go back into content and I would find that new folder. Copy at the bottom, module course builder test. And this is where you can put in your description. So what readings are due this week, any important notes about assignments due, things like that. And in the module, you can create links, files, assignments, quizzes, anything that you want. So it makes it a little faster. You don't just want to set up your folders very quickly to use the Course Design Accelerator. Next is the FAQ section. It's a customizable feature where you can provide students helpful resources that they can access anytime. So this is specific to your course. It's not a Brightspace feature. It's once you're in your course, you can have an FAQ section for those students. So here under Site Resources, frequently asked questions, and you can create your questions and answers here. So if students are asking you the same thing over and over again, you can put it right in here. Really helpful tool. Email class list gives you the ability to email all your students at once, streamlining your communication within your course. And I showed you that it's under Course Admin and then class list. They're like new fun features in Brightspace that we did not have in Blackboard. So now I'll go over some teaching tips for success, and we'll have some time for Q&A as well. Tip number 1 is to get started in Brightspace, determine if you're working with a migrated course from a course copy or creating something new from scratch. Then we're going to explore and adjust the new layout and organization structure of your course in Brightspace. So if you have a course that you were working on in Blackboard, it was moved over most likely from IT. You should see it. If you don't, please reach out. But you can also export a course from Blackboard and then import it in if you had something that you wanted to start with. I showed you through the course builder. If you have a completely new course that you want to start, I would use the course builder. But if you move something in from Blackboard, it might look a little different. in Brightspace. So I will show you one of
Those migrated courses now. So you
can see some things will be broken. Like when you migrate a course in, just check all your assignments, check any links. You might want to completely readjust the folder the way they are. This is a migration course from SPH, but it was set up in a CUNY way, so it's similar. We have instructor bio. We will not need that anymore. So this can be deleted. Syllabus you can leave here, or you can always add things to the top here. So this nav bar you can customize for your course. And so if you wanted to add the syllabus up here, you can do that. Or you can make a folder called course information. You put, syllabus in there, any other helpful files that they might need. So navbar is helpful as well. Because a couple things have moved. So we had student resources and faculty support as tabs on the left in Blackboard. They're just links to Blackboard courses. So those things might need to be removed. So very important is if you're migrating a course, don't just assume everything came in correctly. It's definitely going to look a little different. So the way this is set up actually is not terrible. Like you could, instead of having modules for each week, you could have one folder that says course materials and you could have them all in here. So what it did was it moved everything over as a sub module in weekly material module. So you can definitely rearrange them, or you can make them individual modules and start from there. But it's not wrong. It's just a different way of organizing. Any questions about migration? Go ahead.
From Blackboard from last semester, the only thing I wanted to copy was course materials from Blackboard into spring 2025. So instead of selecting copy everything, I said content. I tried to find out how the wording was a little bit different. So, but when I clicked on course materials, it doesn't appear. However, it is there because I saw that it was transported. So my question is, how can I get all that material into the module that's entitled course materials?
So it probably was put in under a different folder name. So if you locate it, you can move it.
Okay.
So like if you go under content, you'll find the table of contents on the left. If you find the items that you need, you can always use this little down arrow and then move to, and then you're going to pick a different folder.
Oh, okay.
You can move it anywhere that it needs to go.
Okay.
Laura, thank you so much for this. This is really helpful. Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I got a couple of questions for you. How does the discussion board on Blackboard translate to Brightspace? How does that look?
It's similar. I'll show you. So sometimes they don't always translate.
So then would you suggest like inside a module, set up a discussion?
Yeah. So discussion, you go to the discussion tab at the top, new forum, and then you would type in the information, you set up all your grading and all that stuff. But let me go back one page because there are some here that these were migrated. So you can use the topic, start a new thread. It looks like it migrated well, so you might not have to do much or anything. I would test it out, like start a new thread.
I'll try to create like individual modules for each week. And do you embed the discussion board in that module?
You can. Let me go to the one I want to show you. Okay, week 1. Does this have any discussion board? So I'm in the folder, existing activities, discussion. So I can put this right in.
This next, we'll look at how to impersonate a learner, which comes in handy if you want to test out your discussion board or assignments, which you couldn't do previously in Blackboard, but you can do now under class list. So you can
student and impersonate them. You can use a little down arrow and then impersonate. This suspends your current session, logs you in as the selected user, which is this demo student. And then if I wanted to go to an assignment, week 1, into the discussion forum, and I want to start writing, I can do that. So it looks similar to Blackboard. Start a new thread. Session. And I could show you quick eval now, so that actually works. Under because I'm in student demo. To get out of it, at the top, little X, demo student, last post. Okay. Okay, so it is here. I think it's not set up with points, so it's not letting me grade it. But if it was a graded assignment, it would show up under quick eval.
On your course home page, there you've set up a module style for every week, but then there's another, I guess, in the content part, there's course review and schedule. So is that
It's the same stuff. So content is only the folders in the module, but course home has these widgets here. It has announcements. Announcements is not part of your content. Announcements is a separate feature.
okay?
So you can get rid of announcements. It's something I'll mention soon. This widget, each school has it set up differently. So you can hide this widget if you want. You don't have to have the professor information here. Quick eval is here on your front page. So this is just like a quick way to look at everything that's important. So you see your content, your announcements, quick eval, calendar. But content is just that. Just course info, week 1, week 2, all the folders that you create.
So and you've got it week by week. So what's the course schedule for?
Course schedule is the calendar. So any assignments that have due dates on them, it'll show up in the calendar.
Oh, okay.
Students to know like this is coming up. It's helpful for professors too, because you'll have quick eval and you'll see students are submitting an assignment. Oh, when is it due? Let me go check under course schedule.
Okay.
That
So
answer.
as soon as you apply a due date to something, it shows up in the course schedule.
Right.
That's great.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I will go back to the presentation. More teaching tips for success for you guys is that students can dismiss announcements from their course page. So you might have written something, they exited out by accident, and they don't know how to get it back. They can just go to Tools and Announcements, and there's a full list of all the announcements there, whether it's dismissed or not. The hiding of things from your course homepage are just widgets. They're just like little quick ways to see things. So I will show you how to do that real quick. And you can hide announcements too. If it's in your way and you want to just get rid of them, you could definitely do that. So course homepage, we have an announcement here. So say a student exited out by accident and they're saying, where are the announcements? You just go here at the top, Tool, Announcements, and there is a full list of all of them, even if they were dismissed. So again, announcements is not a folder you have to create. It's automatically part of your Brightspace. That's just something to look out for because it's come up before. Students might be losing their announcements. And then my last tip for you guys is how to make the course available in Brightspace. What we're calling, Blackboard called it available, not available. Brightspace calls it inactive or active. So you can either go to the college landing page, which is this little picture here with the home button, and you can see if it's inactive or active. There are instructions here on this link that shows you how to access it. You'll be able to make it active whenever you're ready. And again, that's the whole course. So you might have individual folders and individual modules within that are hidden on a certain date. You can still do that, but to make the whole course available, you would have to change the active and inactive status. Jenny, hi.
Hi. So going back to announcements, let's say, dismiss them by clicking the X. However, but I don't want to lose them because I want to use them for the next semester. And so what would I have to do in order to keep them and that for students not to see them?
Each student can control the widgets on their course homepage. So if they exit out, it's for them that they got rid of it. It's like a notification. If they dismissed it, then they won't be able to see it until they go to tools and announcements. So, but if they go into this announcements folder, or you go into the announcement folder, you have the record of every announcement that was ever sent out in this course, whether it was dismissed or not.
But if I want them not to see, like, let's say an announcement from last semester, because I'm going to use it and edit them and, adjust them for this particular semester, what would I have to do so that they don't see it?
So on the tools page, tools announcements, which is great. Blackboard, you had to delete one by one when you would do a course copy. You can just select all of them and delete them. Or you can delete just one if you want to use the little arrow, delete.
Right. But if I don't want to delete them because I plan to use them, let's say.
Oh, you want to hide them?
But so that students do not see them, only I can. Is that possible? Like, for example, I exported the course. So, the ones from 2024, I don't want them to see the 2024. So what would I have to do without losing the actual announcements? Because I'm going to adjust, make my editing.
Oh, you want to edit them. You want to edit those announcements.
Throughout the semester, but at the same I don't want to lose them because I'm going to edit them, but I don't want students to see what I posted back on 2024.
Previously. Well, what you can do is set an availability date. So if you know the day you want them to go live, you can set the start date for whenever, and then update it, and it won't be available until that date. So if you want to set it to next year, they'll be hidden from students until that date comes up. Or if you know the dates you want them to go out, you can set it up in advance.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Yeah. Oh, any other questions?
I do have another question. So my students do responses. We were using Padlet last semester where they would record themselves, responding to some material I gave them. And I'm wondering, are they able to do that in here? And also, if I want to send them an audiovisual greeting, hi, could I record myself somewhere on here? Where they could see me and hear me?
Yes, the VoiceThread is an option for that. Padlet, I just helped the professor with that this morning. If you open it in a different tab and then you copy the embed code, it's under share, you would just go into Brightspace and add it as a code.
You can also record those directly into Brightspace by adding a video or in a discussion forum.
Right.
So we may not need to use the Padlet because I worked with you last year, Kenny, setting up the Padlet, but so this could take the place of it instead?
Yeah, if you find the Padlet to be cumbersome and you'd rather just do everything inside Brightspace, then yes, Brightspace contains all the tools that you would need to be able to do similar things that you can do in Padlet. It's not going to present it in the same way. But if you just simply want to record a message to the students, or if you want to have a video-based discussion, you can do that inside of Brightspace alone without having to use Padlet. There you go.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, and they would have to upload it or they can record it right in there?
Either.
Okay. Okay. Great. Thank you. I'll play around in.
If no other questions, I'll thank you for joining
and invite you to schedule a meeting with me or email me with your questions. Finally, I want to thank you again for joining and let you know that you can find the 2-page printable job aid and this presentation with clickable links to tutorials on our Brightspace Transition website, which was created just for Hunter School of Education faculty.